Hello, everybody. Eric here with Weekly Wrap Up for May 18th through May 24th. It is a 3-day weekend, and I am very excited about that. This will be my first paid holiday in almost 10 years. So, on the channel, last Monday, I posted a review for White Line Fever by, I believe it is Casey Jones. It's over there. I can't quite read the author's name, but I believe that's what it is. And on Friday, I posted a review for Kolchak, The Night Stalker, Hotel of Horrors by Will McDermott. So please check those out. Wednesday, of course, was Reading Remembrances. It was December of 2006. And then, of course, a weekly wrap-up on Sunday. No special videos. It was a long week at work, 49 hours. And quick version, I work at Multilink making products for Vitamix. We have been using parts that have been made in-house, but also parts from other sources. Vitamix decided they were no longer taking the parts from the other sources at the end of this week, as of recording. And so we had to finish all of the outsourced stuff and get it shipped before the end of the week. So basically, me and my team busted our asses to get that stuff done, and we did get it done. So I'm very happy about that, but I'm very tired and very happy that it's a 3-day weekend. Other than that, nothing else much going on. I did get some books. So let's look at the books. Since I mentioned it first, we'll look at the books that I got this week before I talk about what I read this week. First of all, and this is actually because of something I read this week, and I'm gonna censor this because I don't know what YouTube would think. But this is The Art of Ed Moroniak. Not sure how you say his name. But there you go. I'm covering up the naughty bits. There's a picture on the back there. You can see a bit of his art. And this guy has done a ton of covers for Carlton Mellick III. And this book is advertised in the back of some of Carlton Mellick's books. And it was not that expensive on Amazon, so I grabbed it, and it's got... Here, we'll show you one of the Carlton Mellick covers. It's basically sort of a pin-up book, but that's actually the first Carlton Mellick book that I ever read. Had that cover on it. So, censorship again. The Art of Ed Moroniak. Again, not sure about the pronunciation. But I really dig his artwork, and so it's nice to have this little book I can flip through and look at. All right, then, once again, based on something I chose to read, I decided to buy the last 4 books in a series for which I had the first 3 books. And so what I have here is Exit Strategy, Book 4, of the Murderbot Diaries. Now I want you to look at that spine. Keep that in mind. Then we have Network Effect, Book 5 of the Murderbot Diaries. Look at the size of that spine. Then we have Fugitive Telemetry, Book 6. What? Wait. We're going backwards again. And then System Collapse, Book 7. There's that spine. So you look at them. There's an outlier in there. And I can tell you, the first 3, more like this and this than this. But there you go. I finished out purchasing, anyway, the Murderbot Diaries series. And that's so it's barely a book haul. They all arrived on the same day, even though it was 2 different orders. So there you go. That's some books I got. I might go to Half Price Books this weekend. They're having a 20% off sale. But as I said, I'm tired, and I haven't decided if I'm going to go or not. We'll see. You'll find out, because you'll see the books if I pick up anything. As far as what I read, I mentioned last week's weekly wrap-up, I had planned on reading Senseless by Ronald Malfi, although in last week's video I called it by the wrong title. I really hope I'm calling it by the correct title this time. Senseless by Ronald Malfi. But I found out I was running out of things to review. And so I decided to read a bunch of shorter things so I'd have some content before I jump into Senseless. So I have this little stack here of quick little novellas and a short story. Oh, there it is. Collection. Quick little short story collection. I may read one more really quickly before I jump into Senseless. I haven't looked around and picked anything yet. We'll see. But this is what I read basically over the past week. Sweet Story by Carlton Mellick III. So, yes, I was reading this. In the back, it has an ad for The Art of... Hell, cover it up. Censorship again. That book, which I've seen before. I've seen the ad before, but it just, this time sort of inspired me to pick it up. But anyway, I read Sweet Story by Carlton Mellick III. And then I read The Murderbot Diaries, Book 2, Artificial Condition by Martha Wells. And that's why I was like, what the hell? Let's just look online. Yes, I can afford to grab these 4 books. I followed that up with Jack and Jill by Keelan Patrick Burke. And I followed that up with Hashtag Thigh Gap by Chandler Morrison. This is book 2 in the My Dark Library series. And I literally just finished reading this before I started recording. The Rising, More Selected Scenes from the End of the World by Brian Keene. So, as soon as I finish this video that I'm recording right this moment, I'll be recording reviews for all of those books. And then when I'm done with that, I will be deciding what to read next. I'm just going to take a quick look, see if something quick and easy catches my eye. One more to read. If not, I'll jump right into Senseless. We'll see how it goes. It is a long weekend, so I'll have time to really get into Senseless if I can. I don't want to run out of content for you fine folks. And one of the criteria I had for reading these things was things that are readily available. And I believe all of these are. Because I could read, I have, excuse me, I have like the Star Wars Galaxy of Fear young adult books, which are kind of like Goosebumps in the Star Wars universe. But I don't believe those are at all readily available. I've only found them at Half Price Books, and they weren't half price. They were more than half price because they're hard to find. So I'm excluding that kind of thing because in this particular instance, I just want to make it all stuff that you can easily get. The only other bit of news is some irony. I finished recording my reading remembrances just moments ago. And after I record the video, I go to my files and I change the title because it just has like a big long number. And I change it. In this case, I would change it to January 2007 because that's what I recorded. And while I was doing that, when you do it, right click and then a thing comes up, and at the very bottom it says show more options. Click on that, and then more options come up, and right above rename or retitle or whatever it says is delete. And the cursor, depending on what the computer feels like doing, I guess, when I click on show more options, cursor sometimes is right on delete or very close to delete. And I occasionally think, I really hope when I move that cursor to where I need it to be, I don't press too hard and hit delete. So, I was very careful. I hit rename or retitle, whatever it is, and I changed it to January 2007. And then, as usual, I decided to go back and delete all the videos that I've already posted. The first one being December 2006. So I click on that, I hit delete. Now I forgot something. You can all see where this is going. It's all in alphabetical order, except the most recent video is at the very, very end. So January 2007 is the very end of this line of videos. But as soon as I delete one, it rearranges everything back to alphabetical order. I wasn't paying attention, and I just automatically went to the next video, which should have been Kolchak, The Night Stalker, Hotel of Horror. And I just hit the thing to highlight it, and as my finger was coming down, gravity could not be stopped. I realized that it was January 2007, and I deleted the freaking video. So, yep, deleted the video I had just recorded. So I finished deleting everything else, and then went and re-recorded my video, my reading remembrances video for January 2007. But it was literally on the end of the line, and as soon as I deleted December 2006, it jumped to its spot alphabetically, which was the very next video, and I was already in. It was Kolchak. That's the next video next to December. I'm just going to delete it. I was on automatic pilot and deleted the wrong video. Anyway, so that was my fun for the day. And that's pretty much it. I cannot think of anything else. I'm going to play some video games this weekend. Definitely going to do a little Skyrim. And then, other than that, I don't know. I'd like to jump on something else. Maybe I should do some Call of Cthulhu. Or I downloaded a Vampire, the Masquerade RPG on the Switch Lite, maybe. And I haven't even opened that yet. So maybe I'll just see what that's like. Give that a peek. Should I preview what's coming up in my life this week? You know what? I think I'm going to save it. I'll save it for the next weekly wrap-up after things have occurred. So that's it. What about you folks? What have you been up to this week? Have you read the Murderbot books? Do you enjoy them? Have you seen the new TV series? It's on Apple Plus, so I'm not going to see it because I don't need another streaming service. Have you seen The Art of Ed Miro? I'm just going to call him Ed Miro. Moroniuk, whatever it is. Have you seen his art? Do you enjoy it? What do you think of it? Let me know. Just let's chat down in the comments. And if you have any comments, questions, corrections, please put those in the comments below. Comments are open for spoilers. Just post a spoiler warning. Try to be polite here on my channel. Please like, share, and subscribe. All the usual YouTube stuff. If you'd care to follow me on other social media, I'll have links for my Instagram and Bluesky in the description below. And that's all I have for you this week. So until next week, read more books.